We are live. We have made it. It is working. Now, the question is, that's the button I'm looking for. Let's get that shared out somewhere where people are actually going to see it, which is probably not many places at all. If you bear with me on this one, I don't think anyone's watching anyway. Let's post that out. Join me. Let's go to the sub channel, if I can ever figure out how to do that. Nope, that one. I want to go on that one. You what? It's not, because it's working for me. Right then. All right, we did it. I'm live. We're active. Sorry about that. Apparently, we're having internet problems in the household. Well, we're off to a bit of a dodgy start with this week's show. The original plan was for me, as usual, to do a video. I was going to do a little editing. I was going to few things in there that I've come up with mildly. Not a lot, nothing great. But we had instant problems recording today, as my neighbours are apparently decorating. So as soon as I started recording earlier, the sound of like drilling and hammers absolutely disrupted the sound, and the audio quality was awful, and I couldn't really work my way around it. Alternatively, I was also doing a second video that I was going to be working on, talking about WandaVision and the MCU. Something I said I wasn't going to do with this channel, but I can't help myself. I'm a geek at the end of the day. I like to geek out over things. Unfortunately, I recorded that video, audio, which was 20 minutes, and then there was a glitch with the computer and it didn't save, and I completely lost it, so I had to do it all over again. And then I attempted to edit this video, but after roughly an hour and a half of editing, I'd only got 7 minutes into the edit. So that's something I'm going to have to work on for the remainder of the week, and hopefully that will appear on the feed at some point, probably next week. I doubt I'm going to get that done this weekend, because I don't want to spend the weekend stuck behind the computer. Now, there's a little chat thing here, and I think I can see messages from people if you're able to message on it. Don't know if it works on phones. I don't think it works on phones, but we'll see what happens regardless. Here's to you all, one person that's tuned in. Thank you very much. I'm not expecting to get a lot of immediate traction on this video. I was very unprepared for it. I didn't want to sit down and record and then spend my time doing an upload for it to just not work out. So here I am in all my glory, just going with crap off the top of my head. Unfortunately, I've done a bit of complaining over the course of the last 2 weeks in most of my videos, and it's garnered a fairly decent response. People like me complaining. Unfortunately, I haven't really come up with a fat amount to complain about this week. So I did a little learning. I dived in and educated myself on a few things that I just didn't know, and hopefully I'll pass that knowledge on to you, and I'll be curious to know if anyone out there knows the things that I've learned as well. The only real thing here's why I'm not complaining. I woke up on Monday, and it wasn't below zero outside. We've had 3 weeks in this country of below zero, and it has been heinous, absolutely heinous. But thank God, or whoever you thank, the weather has improved. We got 10 degrees this week. 10 degrees in England. That's summertime. I even took my coat off for an hour today while outside. It was absolutely delightful. Hello there, Combat Machine. What a name as well. Combat Machine. That could be like one of Iron Man's sidekicks. Like, you get War Machine, Combat Machine. That'd be pretty badass. That would be badass. Maybe we'll see that in a future Marvel thing, which, again, I will talk about. Well, I've already spoke about it. You just can't see it yet because I haven't figured out how to edit properly. It takes forever. It's such a tedious, annoying prospect. And but yeah, not below zero, 10 degrees, coat off for at least an hour. Absolutely. I mean, a t-shirt, just the t-shirt today, no jumper, none of the rest. It's delightful. It's nice and toasty. My radiator's not even on that high. What a time to be alive. It is the summer. Here's to the summer. I finally was able to shave. I've been able to shave for about 3 weeks because I had a gigantic spot right there that I was trying to keep under wraps. It was vile and it hurt too much to go now. But here I am, clean shaven. Don't know how I feel about it. I know who you are, Combat Machine. I know. I've seen your videos. I enjoy those videos. It's a good time. But I hope everyone's well out there, all 2 of you now. Yay! So we'll dive right into things that I started thinking about. Now, I don't know if this little tradition follows on anywhere else in the world, but this particular one I'm talking about this week is Pancake Day. How's the hair? I mean, I'm trying not to look. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, I don't want to look at that. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's baldness. I don't think it's a scar. I think it's just probably a few too many dodgy haircuts that I've had. But thank you. Thank you for bringing that one back to my attention again. Dickhead. No, I love you, really. I love you all, really. That is the joy of life. But this week in England was Pancake Day. Now, I don't know if Pancake Day is celebrated anywhere else in the world. I'd imagine the next nearest country to the UK that would do this kind of thing would probably be America, as Pancake Day bounces off a Christian ideology. Religion. Not religious. I don't follow religion. Hence why I ended up doing this little deep dive this week to try and figure out what things were. Because I kept wondering, like, why do we celebrate Pancake Day? Why specifically do we have a day where we eat pancakes? Where does this ideal come from? Now, I find like a lot of the holidays we have in England are tied to Christian ideologies that I don't follow. And I don't know anyone follows, but people still bring it up and talk about it, particularly Lent. What is Lent? No one could tell me really what Lent was. Everyone I asked about Lent, no one had an idea about Lent, and no one knew the origins of Pancake Day, and it was niggling me a little bit. So I felt the need to do a little bit of research. And you know what I found out? Nothing helpful. I found out dick all that was really helpful. I'm still unclear on why we have Pancake Day. I mean, it sort of took me down a little rabbit hole of things that I didn't quite understand that just happen. So, Pancake Day is known as Shrove Tuesday. And yes, I've still got my handwritten notes down here. I should probably put them up somewhere so, like, I don't have to keep looking down. But if it works, it's a small channel. We're not very good at editing. This is as good as it's going to be until I learn things properly. The camera still keeps wobbling. I'd like the camera to not wobble. I just can't get it to not wobble. This camera does not sit on my selfie stick. When I had the selfie stick, no problem at all, but this camera has better picture. So every time I move my feet, just like that, it's going to wobble. Or pick up my beer, which I'm going to do a lot. Good God, I've nearly finished it already. I poured this before I started. That's not even, it's barely 8 minutes. I do love beer, but on the upside, I brought a second can this week to pour. So happy days. So anyway, Pancake Day is known as Shrove Tuesday. What is Shrove Tuesday? Well, it's celebrated before Lent. Lent, aka Ash Wednesday. What is that? Still not entirely sure, but from what I've got, Ash Wednesday marks the first day of Christian observance of Lent. 40 days of abstinence. So that means you give up something you love for 40 days. But why? Well, I will get into that at some point. The question is, and the question was, why do we eat pancakes? What's with the pancakes? Where does the pancakes come from? Well, we eat pancakes because it's a way to use up rich foods like eggs, milk, and flour before fasting. But why eggs, milk, and flour? Why these particular things? Now, the only thing I can think of is this is a tradition that stretches back hundreds, if not 1,000 or so years, if not more. And I can imagine back in the day, before we had big cities and corner shops and takeaways on every single damn street corner, you had farms, and that's where you got your food from. And you probably had a lot of flour around to make your own breads and whatnot. And you had a lot of eggs around because chickens running freely all over the place. And apparently, each of the ingredients that go in pancakes have a Christian representation of significance. So, eggs mark creation. Flour is the staff of life. I don't know what that is. The staff of life. Like a physical staff, I don't know at all. Don't ask me. Salt represents wholesomeness, and milk is purity. I don't know how about that one works, but okay. So, while also diving in to pancake races. Now, I vaguely recall pancake races when I was a small child at school. I don't think I ever partook in a pancake race because I don't think as a child I ate pancakes. There was a lot of things I didn't eat as a child. These days, I'm a walking dustbin. But I vaguely recall the concept of pancake races, and it's something I only remember from a small child. And the older and larger I got, I never ever saw it anywhere else again because in my time, in my generation of growing up in the world, things became unacceptable, especially in the schoolyard, like conkers. You couldn't have conkers anymore in case someone got hit in the face with a conker. I mean, at the end of the day, like the conker thing was in primary school, everyone played conkers, but then they stopped the conkers thing because some dickhead somewhere did probably get smashed in the face with one. And when you get to secondary school, that's the only reason you pick up conkers anyway. No one's playing with conkers in secondary school except to bounce them off the head of somebody that you don't like, or just do it for the fun of it. But anyway, pancake races still exist in this country. Now, one area that I remember them being held in from my research, one of those things that I didn't write down, half a job as usual, Buckingham. Not something I've seen anywhere else, ever. I'd be very interested to know if anyone out there knows people that still does pancake racing, but this is like adults doing pancake racing. And the idea of the pancake race is to get to the finish line first while tossing a cooked pancake. My biggest takeaway I had from this, so you've got all the people, they dress in fancy dress, they generally dress as an old school housewife. Why? I'm going to get into that as well. But the first question I had is, how do you cook a pancake while running? Like, there's no heat, there's no hob, so is the pancake already cooked? Or is the pan just hot? In which case, I can see why we don't have pancake races anymore, because running with a large, burning hot piece of steel, flipping a pancake, someone's going to get some, like, hit in the face with a burning hot pan. That's going to ruin people. Absolutely ruin people. It really is. But why did the pancake race start? And this is also my theory for why we eat pancakes on this day. And I'm still a little unclear on how the two things came together. Because it, like, Lent, Shrove Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, they're all based on religious reasons that have existed in this country for thousands of years, mainly Christian ideals. I am not a Christian. I am of no particular faith. I abstain from religion. Science and alcohol is my religion. Rock and roll. But why did it start? That is the big question. Well, in 1445, in the village of Olney, I think I said that right, I could be wrong. Religion, everyone partook in religion in these days. There was nothing else going on in life. No one questioned things. God did it, then it must have been God. But in 1445, a woman in Olney heard the church bell going, and it sent her into a panic. At the time, the lady was wearing an apron, a head scarf thingy that you would always see all the ladies wearing from way back when, and was making pancakes. She heard the church bell, became flustered and panicked, and got up and immediately ran to the church. And ran she did, still wearing her apron, head pinny thing, and a frying pan with a pancake in. And that's the reason. That is the reason the pancake race exists. Now, I don't know how to take that. Somehow, this story, this thing happened, and over 600 years later, it's something that we're still doing, or at least some parts of the country we're still doing. But I do believe that no matter how much I read and looked into it, I didn't actually find a religious reason for the pancake to exist, other than the fact the four representations that the Christian ideology had for the four ingredients. I don't know about the salt. I don't know anyone to put salt in a pancake. If you put salt in a pancake, let me know somewhere. Let me know privately. Let me know here. I ain't gonna lose sleep on it if you don't. But, and also I come to the own driven conclusion by no particular knowledge or reading that this is just the foodstuffs that people had to hand 600 years ago. But this is how the pancake race started, and I can't help but wonder, is this why we still eat pancakes to this day? Because of some confused, batty old woman over 600 years ago? Really, really odd. But this is England. We're an odd country. You should see some of the music that makes it into the charts and has throughout all of history. So, moving on from the pancakes, Lent. What is Lent? Well, as I mentioned, it's 40 days of abstinence from something that you love for the purity of the soul. How does that work? Don't know. Don't question. That's how religion works. So it's a season of reflection and preparation for Easter celebrations. It lasts 40 days. Why? Why does it last 40 days? Well, I will tell you. It's because Jesus fucked off into the desert for 40 days. That's it. He just, I don't know why he went to the desert. I don't know what he was trying to prove. I don't know what he was getting at. I really don't. One day Jesus is there, like, was he just sat around with the apostles or the apostles, the people he hung out with, and just like probably looking at Caesar over there, just like, look at that cunt Caesar. Like, he's planning some, you know what, I'm going to fuck with his plans. Right, lads, I'm going into the desert for 40 days. I'll see you when I'm back. And off he pops. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why Jesus went. There must have been a reason for Jesus going into the desert. Oh, hang on. Oh. No, I got no reason why Jesus went into this desert. Maybe he was trying to, like, maybe he knew Caesar was planning something and he just wanted to fuck around with him. I don't know. It's my theory. It's as good as any, because it sounds like a lot of the things that we seem to celebrate here were made up by the religious, and we just go along with it without sort of questioning anything. But yeah, Lent means don't eat or have fun, because Jesus didn't eat or have fun. Jesus also got holes cracked through his hand, apparently. And, you know, I wouldn't want to do that either, but that's an odd one. Beer time. Yes, it's cheap. It's nasty. But it's plentiful, and it's £3.79 for 4 cans, and I'm very agreeable with that. Especially when I'm a week away from payday. I hope you're all having a drink as well. If not, why not Saturday? Anyway, back to this kerfuffle. Right then. So yeah, more bizarre rules that come with. I mean, if you want to give up your wife for 40 days, combat machine, God says yes. God says yes, you can do that, and Jesus approves. If Jesus said it, it must mean it's okay. So, Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, and all the Fridays of Lent, everyone older than 14 must give up meat. Must. Have to give up meat. Why? Don't know. Like, don't know. I have no idea why. Like, at all. Like, I couldn't figure. There is exemptions. If you have a medical condition, then it's okay. But I don't know how they knew that way back when. They didn't have sophisticated medical technology. The things they probably didn't understand. I mean, we thought people with dyslexia were just thick for as long as I can remember. It's only really been in the last 20 years, I'd say, that people have started to go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason. But, so yeah, everyone older than 14 must give up meat, but everyone from ages 18 to 59 must fast. Why 18 to 59? I don't know. I really don't. I could not find a reason why 18 to 59 have to fast. Like, why not after 59? Why 59? Why not 60? Why beyond that? I don't know. Now, my knowledge on religion and history and medical history isn't that strong, but I don't think 2,000 years ago people really made it to the age of 59 anyway. It's very specific. It's very specific indeed. And it baffles me. But again, why do we do that? Don't know, because God says just shut up and obey. That's it. Don't ask questions. That's how it works. It really is. Apparently, you can have coffee, you can have some cream and some butter, but no sugar. Don't know why. Again, like, no reason. No explanation given in any of this. It's just do as you are told. So, coffee, cream, butter, no sugar. No sugar at all. So, To clarify, 18 to 59, you can't have anything, but you can have some coffee and you can have some cream and you can have some butter, but you can't have no sugar. If you're over 14, you have to give up meat. But it's a bit of a grey area when it comes to that older than 14 thing. So older than 14, you have to give up meat. But if you're 18 to 59, you must fast for reasons. But you cannot have sugar, but you can have some coffee, caffeinated beverages. Don't know the history of coffee. I'd like to know when that first started coming over to at least the western side of the world and when that got folded into the religion that we apparently don't follow, but sort of follow. So, to sum up, Jesus chose to go hungry for 40 days, and a confused woman ran to church 1400 years later, and that is why we eat pancakes. There's got to be more to it than that, but honestly, after an hour and a half of doing this research, that is genuinely all that I could come up with. It was baffling. But the next question I had, now the Easter thing, because it's going to be Easter soon. I think it's going to be, I'm sure it's Easter soon. The Easter thing kind of confuses me, because as far as I was aware, Easter was about the time that Jesus returned from the dead. And I mean, I'm not surprised he fucked off into the desert for 40 days. Like, it doesn't really establish like where he went or what he did or what desert he was in. Dude, that's Sahara. You'd be dead in 40 days in the Sahara. He had some food. He had something out there. And don't give me God protected him, because God strung him up or had him strung up. He was like, God, Father, why have you forsaken me? Because you did something dickhead and you went into the fucking desert for 40 bastard days, and now we all eat pancakes 2,000 plus years later. So, as we established, eggs are a symbol of life as defined by the Christian religion. They mark the end of Easter. Don't know how that works. If eggs are the creation, the start of life, how do they also mark the end? I'm not going to think about it too much because it'll just drive me up the wall. But the next biggest question is, why chocolate eggs? Why do we give specifically chocolate eggs, mainly to children? Mainly, all us adults love some chocolate eggs. Who doesn't love a chocolate egg? I love a chocolate egg. Oh, I can't wait to get me a chocolate egg now I think about it. But why the egg? Because Christians used it as a metaphor. That is why. It makes me like, it had to be the egg, because the egg is the start of like the chicken's life. The chicken has the egg, and then the chick comes from the egg from the chicken. It makes me wonder if they'd found like another creature that had laid eggs. Would it be entirely different? I'm trying to think of something that, like, the fish lay eggs. I am not good with biology at all, but imagine if it was a different kind of creature. That snakes lay eggs. What if it had been snakes? We'd have to give children snakes at Easter. That would make the whole holiday a lot more interesting. I'd be up for that one. I'd do like throwing snakes at random kids as they pass by. That would be great. That would be really great. So, apparently, the shell of an egg also represents the tomb of Jesus. Now, this, keep in mind, ties in with the whole Lent and the Easter thing. So, what I'm really understanding here is Jesus went to the desert, and it sounded like he died, and he must have crawled into, I don't think it was a tomb, I think he was looking for some shade. He found some shade, and he just fucking died because he didn't take any food and he didn't take any water because he didn't know any better. He didn't have a roadmap for this, but yeah, he pretty much went and died in the desert somewhere. But the shell of an egg apparently represents the tomb of Jesus, and the chick inside represents Jesus. So remember that next time you're settling in for your KFC. Like the water and the wine thing, that's been played out many times. Next time you eat a chicken, you're eating Jesus. So the chicken represents the Messiah. But why the Easter Bunny? Where does that come from in the whole loop of things? How does the Easter Bunny fit? Like, because rabbits, that's why. That's the only reason. That is the actual only reason. So we give the eggs, we have the eggs, the shells of the tomb, the chicks, the Jesus. But there's a bunny that gives the eggs, because rabbits, they like to have sex a lot. But I don't know what's that's got to do with Easter. I don't know what it's got to do with rabbits. But again, why is it chocolate, the egg that we give to children? Because no child wants to be given an egg. like at all. Tell you what, next time it's say, I mean, there's no other time you can do it. If you've got children that are expecting eggs at Christmas, just give them an egg. Just give them a normal egg and watch their reaction. They'll be gutted and record their reactions and send them to me because I thrive on the misery and suffering of others. But why chocolate? For the simple reason children don't want to be given an egg. It doesn't actually establish that when these kids were given the egg back in the day, were the eggs boiled? Was it just an egg? Probably just an egg, because then they could eat. A lot of poor children, they all used to work in the factories back then. Bring that back, I say. Bring that back. But again, the Easter Bunny, where did the Easter Bunny come from? Germany. The Germans originally came up with the idea of the Easter Bunny. It's not uncommon for holidays to have a faux mascot, if you will. Santa Claus. Santa Claus has got dick all to do with Christmas. It was invented by the Coca-Cola Company over 100 years ago and has since become the face of Christmas. Santa Claus is the Messiah now. That is the reason. And don't take it for a second that I might be getting gripey about the whole religion not being included in the whole thing. That's it. Jesus died on the cross and rose on Easter Day. That's what I thought. He fucked off into the bastard desert for 40 days and then tried to get some shade, and then it didn't work out so well for him. That's apparently the story I've got here. And then I'm assuming after that, that's when the Romans saw what was going on, like, fuck, dead guy walking around, string his ass up. That's how I'm viewing it anyway. But now I don't know how to take this one, if it was a joke or not, because I looked up how old is the Easter Bunny, like when did the Easter Bunny story originate? Like the Santa Claus thing originated at one point. I'd like to maybe look into where Jack Frost, the idea of that came from. But this bit sort of threw me off. Scientists believe... let's think in for a minute. Scientists believe the Easter Bunny originated 500 to 600 years ago. Scientists believe the Easter Bunny has been around for 400 to 500 to 600 years. Not scholars. Not scholars at all. Not literary. What would you call them? Yeah, I can't even say it. Literacy scholars. Not people who read. Not people who study books. Scientists. Scientists believe 500 to 600 years old. Blew my mind when I read that. Why are you asking scientists? Scientists do come up with some weird theories. I remember once, and I don't know how you calculate the maths. It's completely unrelated to what I've been talking about. It's nothing to do with Easter or Lent. But I don't know how you come to calculate this. But a small fact that I once read in the newspaper was, that scientists believe that there is a 64.7% chance we are living in the Matrix. That's not bullshit. There was a study, and scientists believe there is over a 67% chance we are living in the Matrix. In the name of science, indeed. I don't know how do you start researching the fact that we are in the Matrix? Like, where does the evidence come from to even start your research? I don't know. I don't know at all. Oh, man, what did I write here? Okay. Something absolutely unrelated as well that I just decided to look up into when I was doing this research. Holding in a fart won't kill you, but it will make you extremely uncomfortable, just in case you've had any musings about that in the slightest. Follow the White Rabbit. He's got the chocolate eggs, apparently. It has been around for 600 years. Now, that's the completion of my notes right there. The only other thing I've got here is it's no longer below zero, but I already talked about it being no longer below zero. It's wonderful. I look out that window. Beautiful grey skies. Beautiful grey skies. It's like the levels of greyness you get in England. It's like grey and clement, grey and cold, grey and warm. Grey and cold's horrible. But at the minute, it's grey and clement, I would say. It's trying to rain, but it's not raining. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Anyway, I'll be winding this video down. It's definitely a shorter one than anything else that I've come up with because I haven't really had a lot to complain about. I mean, one thing that did sort of piss me off this week is I started taking a different route on the bike to work, and I found that there's a chap that goes the same route on his bike. He looks like a considerably older fellow than me, but you know what? He's fiercely competitive. Like, there is an unspoken rivalry between me and this guy now. We seem to leave the same industrial estate at the same time. We take the exact same route home. The only time our paths diverge is when I get to my front door. He goes in a slightly different direction. But I'm riding home the one day and I passed the local COVID test center, and our eyes just met from, like, he was on one side of the road, I was on the other side of the road, and our eyes just met for a minute. And I swear I saw him squint and smirk at me, just sort of like a, it's on. And all of a sudden, all the way back for the next 20 minutes, me and him were just overtaking each other again and again and again. Now, I'm a frantic rider. I do not observe the rules of the road. I like to be on the pavement, in the road, weaving in and out. I like to keep the traffic guessing. I figure it makes everyone's morning and evening a little bit more exciting on the way into work. But this guy got cocky with me, and I heard him snigger. I heard a little chuckle as he went past me. Now, my journey is mostly uphill, but I get to a certain point, and it goes down, and it goes down hard. It's wonderful. But as we get to the downhill part, that's when I ease off the pedaling. I'm just happy to just roll and just go with the flow. This guy was in it to win it. Like, he was out for blood. He really was. And I just heard him as he went past me. Like, I'd already overtaken him once. Then we got to the high street and he overtook me again. Then we came to an incline and I overtook him on the incline. Then we got to the top of the hill and I'd stop looking back. Like, I took him over. I figured that's it. I've done him. He's easily twice my age. And then we got to the top of the hill and I just started rolling down that hill and just going with it. Just riding in and out. Got my music playing. I'm a happy man. Then all of a sudden, I see him in his high vis just go flying past me, and all I hear is gone. And he's pedaling. He is pedaling. He is going for it. He had a race going on in his head, and to be honest, so did I. To be entirely honest, and I let him have it all the way to the bottom of that hill, and then as soon as it went up again, I took over. So, in your face, old man, in your face. The competition's healthy. Competition's good. I mean, I'm not sure about the fact that an old man overtook me. He was going downhill. I was relaxing. He wasn't. But anyway, I'm going to bring this one to a close because I want to go downstairs. I want to go and chill out and relax. I've done this video a lot earlier. Thank you for everyone that has watched. Do the like, do the sharing thing, do the subscribing thing if you haven't already subscribed, which the 3 people that are watching probably have. And yeah, there'll be another video up later in the week, providing I sit here all week and edit it, and I have the patience to do it. I mean, it's a 20-minute video. I've edited 7 minutes of it, and I keep running into little problems while I'm doing it, mainly lack of patience. But I'm working on it. It will be entertainment-based. It won't be me ranting or complaining. I'm going to try and attempt to dive into some more stuff I can educate people about, questions I have, like what the hell is Lent, what the hell is Easter. It's weird. Like, Jesus goes missing in the desert for 40 days. 1,400 years later, an old woman runs to a church with a pancake. The Germans come up with a giant rabbit that gives out eggs, and somehow it all got blended together. It's a strange one. It's really much a strange one. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and have a lovely weekend and evening, or whenever you're watching this. Just have a lovely time. Take care. Yep. I want to end it. Did I end it?